We're back.
We're back. Roll a clip. Let's
Rolling.
get into relationships. One, how your family plays a role into your relationship, but also how your upbringing plays a role into your relationship and how you treat your significant other.
For sure.
I think your family and friends, it's funny because me just thinking back in school and college and you talking to somebody or you dating somebody and the first thing one of your friends is going to say, let me see what they look like. And you trying to find the finest picture. You trying to find
a good angle.
Yeah, you try. Then if you know he ain't fine, you like, oh, this was like, you make it up something like, oh, this ain't a good picture, but this all he got. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's crazy how our friends and family have so much influence over the person that we're with.
For sure.
But it be the people who judge the most and have the most to say that don't have nothing going on or in the worst relationships and they trying to bring you down with them.
For sure.
It's a big thing.
For sure. And they give you advice based off their traumas or what they're going through in their relationship. And you're like, that really don't apply to me. I'm not really going through that.
Right.
So you have to learn to know that your family has good intentions when they talk to you or give you advice. And they also sometimes can see things that you don't see. You can be blind and be like, oh, I already saw that when I first met him, but I thought it would change.
True.
I thought we can make it grow. I thought we can work through it, go to church.
Right. Okay.
No, ma'am. Some things it's just going to stay, and you got to say, again, it goes back to that, do I want to live with this for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Or do I want to throw the deuces up?
But why do you feel like we allow our family and friends to have so much influence on who we're dating?
Really depends. And then you don't bring anyone around your family that you're not serious with.
True.
Or that you want to see if they match with your family.
Yeah.
Can they blend in? Can they get through the shit talking in our family?
Right.
Can they really, throw them out to the wolves and see can he hang with the fellas?
Okay.
They so
like,
they are
but
dogs, wolves, all of them. Any animal that got 4 legs.
they
Mhm.
get it. I don't know. I feel like family has so much of an influence because I feel like we worry too much.
We
Like
do.
about what people got to say, and
Mhm.
they're dealing with their own shit. Like they're going through their own stuff. No relationship is perfect. Y'all be idolizing Russ and Sierra. I'm telling you, they getting down behind closed doors.
For sure.
They ain't letting y'all see. Nobody's on social media. Whole nother thing, but nobody's posting negative stuff on social media. Everybody wants to be presented like every marriage is perfect. Everybody got money. Everybody is like living their best life, and in reality, everybody's just trying to get it like the next
How many
person.
children do they have?
Okay, just the times that we're living in. Like you either had your kid like stupid young, or you're having them late. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like. I don't know. I feel like it's just tough. And I see recently, I don't know if you've seen on social media, this girl took her baby to the Chris Brown concert. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, what's your thoughts on that?
She living her life. And with the baby at the concert, she had the headphones on the baby, so the baby, hopefully the sound wasn't too much, but she's living her life. What if she's a single mother? She still wants to enjoy, go see Chris Brown, and no one's there to watch her child.
Okay.
That's the times we're in. And that's how it would be if I was of an older age having a child. They're going to be everywhere. I like it.
I think
Having
when
a
I
baby at a
seen
concert.
it, mentally, I was like, girl, you're doing too much. Like, this is crazy. And me, I got, a little OCD. And then, I don't know how old her baby was, but who am I to judge? But I just feel like it's a lot of people and there's so much going on. And then people are so hyped up. You got people drinking. If somebody accidentally bumped me on my baby, now we got a problem.
But you think about most times when someone sees a baby, your
that's
first reaction
true.
is like, oh, it's a baby.
That's true.
It's a baby. Even a stranger sitting next to you and somebody bumping you. Now you like, did you bump her baby?
Right.
I think it's
That's
more so
true.
if people are going to protect that child.
Yeah, that's true.
Versus us thinking about the negative part of it.
Yeah. To each his own.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not judging, to each his own. I'm just saying, like, just reflecting back on relationships and then parenting and how your upbringing can have such an effect on that. One of my friends, I'll never forget this because he told me, he said, my mom raised me right, but I chose to make the wrong decisions. And I was like, ooh, because everybody always talks about how they raising them kids or, they got these young parents raising these kids and they don't know. And it's like, you can raise your child and bring them up the right way, But if they get around the wrong crowd or they're not mentally strong, they're going to do what the hell they want to do, you know. And it's like you see these kids out here that's like doing shootings in schools and or whatever, like out here just doing wild stuff, robbing. And their parents is just, some parents, I'm not going to speak for all, but some of their parents, you know, they seem to come from a good household, like we don't know, but they seem to come and their parents are like remorseful and feel bad. And it's like, you know, I didn't raise him, like where's this come from? But it's like, it came from somewhere. Is it coming from like social media? Is it coming from their friends, you know? And like, you can raise your child how you want to raise them, but at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do.
You know, that's one of the biggest things back in the day. Our parents lied to us.
Big time.
So much. And we could not fact check a thing.
Right.
But now, you know, you can tell your children, hey, McDonald's is closed. They can ask, Alexa, is McDonald's closed? And Alexa's going to answer them and say, no, McDonald's closes at 10 p.m. And they're going to say, Mommy, you lied to me.
Right.
And McDonald's is actually open.
So my next question, and you don't have to get too personal, how do you feel like your upbringing had an impact, if any, on your relationships with guys?
Major, because I didn't have a father to teach me guys' ways of thinking or their mannerisms or how to decipher if a guy is full of crap or is he serious about me.
Right.
And what type of male that, you know, when you have a father, it's going to be that depiction to say, I want him to be like my dad.
Right.
My dad is a builder. My dad knows how to fix things. My dad knows how to cook. My dad is a worker. He's a provider. That's now something that I'm going to look up to when I'm dating.
Right.
Versus not having that,
right.
or even a male in my family that is like, I want him to be like him.
Right.
It was, I'm going out here just testing the waters, going in there with my mom, you know, what my mom may say or she may think, and then the type of guy she dating, I'm like, I know I don't want that.
Right.
You know, I know I don't want that, but you still don't quite know because it's like you're learning as you're dating.
Right.
And boy, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun, but you can, how we just said, I know good qualities of a man.
Right.
So teaching that, okay, he may not have been in my life fully, but I do know what I don't like.
Right.
You know, and you learn to say, all right, well, in some situations, something as simple as changing a tire. You know, you dating a guy and y'all riding down the road and everything is good, you on a date and tire go flat mid-drive and he getting out, he looking at you, you looking at him, and you like, who's fixing the tire?
AAA.
But then you think you're sat on the side of the road, you're like, this man can't even fix a tire? You can't debunk him and say he's not the best guy in the world because he can't fix a tire. Like he said, financially, he may be in a good space. We gonna sit here for the next hour, get to know each other, and wait for them to come change his tire.
Right.
You know, but in the beginning, it was like, oh, you're not a man, you can't fix a tire. That's one of the biggest stigmas of dating a guy that, or if he's not handy, that he's not a good dude. And it's like, it's more convenient. You know what I mean? So it's my upbringing. I strongly have an interpretation that I had to learn as I get older, as I experience, as I've dealt different type of men, that I know that that's not what I want. But do I still, it's off my thoughts. I had to really sit down at some point in my age and say, Andrea, what do you want in a man? But when you're 18, 19, 20, you're having fun. Yeah. You know, you're like, all right, I know Daddy up the road, he sell drugs and he know how to do that outside, but he ain't going nowhere in life, you know. And then I know this guy here, he's in college, he's doing well, he's successful, he's going to be somewhere far in life, but he's boring to me in my 19 and 20s. But should I have stuck with someone that was showing you consistency, stability? Yeah. Those are the things that you hope to learn earlier, but you don't learn those things when it's just, I think, a single parent household, because sometimes stability changes a lot. And with me, we moved a lot. Right. And I had to learn stability in a relationship. So someone's taking on that I lack stability. Yeah. You know, they have to accept that in me.
Yeah.
It's work. And we are constant work. And we're going to change. We're going to grow. Who I am tomorrow may be different from who I am right now.
Right.
And it's not based off of, oh, she acted different. It's, I've learned something about myself, or I've acquired more information, or I'm able to talk about how I feel. You think about back in the day, or when you were younger, we didn't know that many words.
Right.
You're not able to communicate fully what you want to say because you don't have the words.
Right.
So think about in a relationship, somebody that just doesn't have the words to communicate how they feel to you, they shut off. Or they lack communication, or they say, don't worry about it, or I'm good. When in reality, you don't have the words to say what you need to say. Ooh. So you say, oh, they don't understand me. They don't understand me. You may not understand yourself, because you can't even say, you can't tell me how you really feel. So upbringing is everything.
That is good. And I feel like oftentimes we try to, another thing in relationships, we expect with that person, you know what I'm trying to say? I can't get the words. We expect for that person to not only know and understand us, but we expect for them to treat us how we treat them. You know what I mean?
And that can have a different meaning.
Yeah.
How I love may not be how you love. So let's talk about what love means for you. You know.
I feel like that was good, like stability and trying to figure out how to get that for yourself. You know what I mean? Because you realize that that's a flaw that you had. And I feel like when you, or just like any situation when you've been dealing with something for so long, that's hard. Like that is tough, you know? And if it's something that your significant other is like, I just can't deal with that, but that's a part of who you are and you realize you need to change that, it's like, damn, who, maybe that's not your person. You have to find that person that realizes like, I know that this is a problem that I have and I'm working on it, but are you going to be here with me to work through this problem? Because I've been dealing with it for 20 plus years. You can't expect in the 6 months that I've known you for me to be able to change that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Take that with you.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in to the AC channel, where we keep things cool, calm, and collective. And we look forward to having more conversations. If you have some topics that we should discuss and you would like to hear our insight on, then definitely tag that at the bottom as well. Comment that with us so that we can be able to give information that we may be able to share that you may not have any answers to.
Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We need some subscribers, okay? And to prove to y'all that we are all about giving back to the community and just helping our folks out, we are going to give away a gift card or Cash App. Comment below, the first person to comment. We're going to send a little something too. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yes.